just to start, I guess, how did you guys come to be? What's the history of y'all?
Mine and Joe just have the same last name by coincidence.
Really?
They're brothers.
Okay. I was going to say, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We went to high school together, most of us.
Okay.
And that was like the first 3 years of our existence.
Okay.
Picked up these two.
Yeah.
Jake's been in the band for about 2 or 3 years, and Aiden 1 to 2.
Yeah.
And,
Cool.
But we're a new band with these guys.
Very cool.
Big time.
Based in Portland, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Indeed.
Grew up, raised there, all that kind of stuff. Cool, very cool. So what is your inspirations? I mean, if you have individual inspirations for the music and behind the music, do you have any bands, artists, dead or alive?
I'm not going to name names, but part of what I think makes what we're doing right now feel really good and special is that we individually throw like our individual inspirations out there, and somehow by grace it works out really well. I don't know. Yeah,
it's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to ask was your stage presence. I mean, each of you have such an individual stage presence, which is so cool to me. I just think like you guys, because you're like, oh, I'm shy, and then you bring up this whole entire different stage presence. So where does that come from? I mean, where does that spark? I mean, is it just like an alter ego kind of thing? I mean, is it?
I think when the band first started, and probably as it's continued, I don't feel that strong vocally. So if I'm gonna suck, then I might as well give people something to look at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. I like it.
It's definitely like, we've almost been doing this for 8 years.
Okay.
So it just like, it's not, I don't think anything we do is very coordinated or like super specific.
Okay.
We've just kind of gotten really good at doing what we do, I guess. I don't know.
Cool. Very good.
we've never had a discussion about how to be up there ever.
Okay.
Like for me as the bass player, I have a lot of fun, and I watch a lot of wonderful bass players who stand very still. And for me, like I'm having a blast, so I want to jump around. I don't know.
I think our music also just requires a lot of energy and a lot of focus, and it just kind of makes us look like what we look like. I think.
I think there's no other way for Joe to look, when he's playing the drums. Like you listen to the parts, and that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So we are a band that challenges ourselves to points of past our comfort zones.
Yeah, very cool.
Pretty much with every new song we write.
Yeah.
So we don't really have a lot of choice in the matter. It's just kind of what happens.
Cool. Yeah. And I mean, if you could touch on the process of that last song you guys had, the really fucking long one. What's the thought process behind that? Is it just kind of throwing a bunch of together? I mean, just seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, or
it's actually a cover. Kinda.
Okay.
It's like a reorganized cover of a Miles Davis song.
Okay.
Off a live record of his, and we kind of took it and molded it into our own, and decided to usually close with it. It's kind of our last hurrah on most sets, and we usually kind of expand upon a bunch of ideas that we've kind of thrown at the wall with that one. And
we put words over it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want us to touch on one of our influence and name a name, that there's a very brutal stretch of years where Miles Davis poached every good funk musician in the world and made the craziest, most bizarre, quote-unquote jazz ever.
Okay.
And it's really cool music.
It's really inspiring.
So we just wanted to cover that, and then upon covering it, totally tore it up, made it our own.
Okay. Yeah. So it's safe to say that Miles Davis is one of your biggest inspirations, at least for that one.
Yeah.
For sure, definitely.
mostly for this guy, mostly Joe. I know that much, but
Yeah,
definitely.
I think we all appreciate it.
We all very much appreciate Miles Davis.
Cool. Very cool.
We just took the main groove of there's like basically one riff that they go off of that whole song, and in the spirit of that song, we didn't really take anything else beyond that. We're just jammed it out until we got a song out of it, and it's different every time we play it.
Very cool.
Yeah, definitely. There's parts that we pick up on and repeat
motifs that we play now.
But the more you play them, the more stale they get, and then you have to stop doing it.
Very cool. There's a lot of creative freedom with that.
Yeah, that's kind of why we end on it, because that one we have never played that. There's like 2 or 3 parts that we cue each other with, and then it completely changes every single time.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Your new album, Rabbit. What's new on that guy? I mean, what's different from the past? Is it foreshadowing anything new that you're working on?
The obvious difference is Jake with the keys.
Okay.
We never had keys in the band before that, so that's just like the most glaring thing. But we approached with much more production and like songwriting in mind than in the past. We've been a live recording band before that, and this one was very much a studio project.
Okay.
It was in the middle of COVID. It's not like we practiced it in front of people.
Yeah.
It was all just for ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that was a big thing for us. We all learned a lot by doing that process.
Yeah.
So going forward, you can expect at least some similar process to that.
Okay.
But
And also, I didn't even play on that record, but that almost feels old at this point.
It does,
You said new record Rabbit,
Yeah.
and that was interesting because that one feels.
We already have the next
needed.
one on the
It's
way.
needed to-
Okay.
I don't want this.
No, you don't want that. No.
Just passing it on.
Yeah, the next record's coming out in December. We've
I was
already
just
got.
about to ask about new
we
stuff.
have another one.
Okay.
That
Done,
closing track's
ready.
on that.
Yeah, we played a couple songs off that record tonight, and it's. The single's coming out in a couple weeks, and then the record is gonna be in December.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's the single?
The first song we played, yeah.
Okay, called.
I get my shit delivered.
Say it again for the microphone.
I get my shit delivered.
Love it. Okay, very cool. What's your favorite song to play? I mean, off any.
Let's pass it around.
Yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
I get my shit delivered.
Probably I get my shit delivered right now. Yeah, for sure. Or spin my head around. Both of those are really fun for me.
I love Sequel of the Times
Okay.
because that's just like I feel like it's always a total the lows and highs of what we play. It's like the quietest and most palatable, and then the most jammy and
Yeah.
gnarly. Yeah,
I'm gonna say the Miles Davis cover. What I say. That's jam.
not a bad call.
I like playing Bumblebees. It's another one off the new record.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the slow bouncy.
Very,
Okay,
yeah,
slow
very
down.
crampsy.
The one where we all scream wildly.
Okay, yeah.
when we open
Sound like a mild bark as well.
Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
the one.
Okay, very cool. I should have asked this in the beginning, but what kind of got your start as a band? With the new and old members and stuff, but what kind of caught people's attention initially?
These two didn't have a choice.
I don't know. I don't know if we really had that much attention at the beginning. It's been a steady incline, very barely slanted.
Max worked very hard for every inch.
Yeah.
We have never had a point where it's like, whoa, what the just happened? It's always just been like,
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Every tour is a little bit better, but not that much better than the last one.
barely getting better.
Yeah.
It's happening. I don't know. When Aiden and I joined the band, when Aiden and I joined the band, I feel like that was a new era. That kind of happened for the band. Get out! Who's calling? Get out of here! Get out of here! So that was like right out of the pandemic, like mid 21. We started playing a lot more, and we had the new lineup, and that was very much a fresh start for I'll speak for these three that have been with it, but it was a whole new era that kind of has started to take off, and that's where a lot of momentum has come from.
I got really lucky because I had really wonderful friends, and then all of a sudden they needed a bassist. But these f***ers have been grinding it out for like 7 years. And then
you more than anything.
I hopped in at a pretty great point where it's going right.
You didn't even have to work for it, man. You're just in it.
Nah, cakewalk.
My last question: where did the band name come from? The Macks.
Oh, who wants that one? Who wants that? Joe?
Sam. Yeah.
Or Joe?
Closed your phone.
No stolen
It's still
valor.
gone. So it was on our first tour. We went by. So our band name originally was Lumbar Time Clock, and so we were on tour, and Ben was driving, and Sam was in the front seat, and I was in the back, and we had our old bassist Bailey, and it was just like rainy, and it was really windy. And it was
Where
just
were you
really,
going?
I think we were going to Los Angeles. Yeah, and then all of a sudden there was this huge gust of wind, and just like it totally felt like we were spinning out of control. Ben says he had it under control, but like all of a sudden a truck like just is like in front of us head on, and like all we saw was Mac, and then
Oh my God.
and we were fine. We don't really understand what happened. Ben like swerved out of the way and we got out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, and we all just kind of like agreed that we thought we were gonna die, and the last thing that we remembered seeing when we thought we were gonna die was just Mac.
Oh.
And so we were like,
Inflated.
so
Okay,
we took that as a sign. And Lumbar time clock was moronic at best. So
Got it. That's an awesome story.
yeah.
That's all my questions. Is there anything else y'all want to add that I may have missed? Anything you just kind of want to say?
Go Macks.
Go
Yeah.
Max.
Go Macks.
Go
Go
Macks.
Macks.
Cool.
New record in December.
Go Macks.
Record in December.
Do you have a specific date or just
December
December?
2nd, I think is our date.
Okay, and then the single's out.
October 7th.
October 7th. With
7th.
a couple more coming after that, but
Yeah. Well, okay.
We are all very proud of the record that's forthcoming.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Please listen or don't. Who gives?
Or okay.
do what you want.
I enjoy it.
I like it.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Maybe 2 people will too.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping the people that read this will listen to it. But if any, I have any readers. But okay, I'm gonna stop it. Anything else?
No.